Am I going to be talking in this yellow one?
Yeah, yeah.
Peter, you'll be on that side. If you could put on the headphones, both of you, and to make sure that you can hear the show, if it's loud enough in the headphones. And once the show starts, then you start wearing them.
I can hear one ear.
Yeah, I know. We are having technical problems with these, unfortunately.
Can you hear good enough?
Do I need to just hear it, or do I need to have a certain volume?
No, if you can hear it, then it's working. Yeah.
Okay, because it is kind of low.
Oh, I'll ask Robert to turn it up.
Yeah, mine's a bit tad low
Is it a bit
too.
low too? Okay.
Just a tad.
Excuse me, Penelope. Yeah, Robert, can you turn it up in the headphones? A bit more? How's that?
Yeah, this one too.
I didn't hear a change.
You didn't hear a change at all?
Or you
Can't
can
really hear.
adjust the volume there.
Oh, you can adjust the volumes here?
No, I guess I'm here.
Yeah, each one should be individual.
Yeah, but you should be able to turn all of them up at the same time. But anyway. Is anything improving at all?
I can hear.
Can you? Let me check on.
Speak into it.
That's coming in good. Is it still not that great, Pete?
I hear it louder now. Do you?
Let me just check. Excuse me. Excuse me, Pat. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Hello. Do you hear yourself talk?
Yeah. That's
Okay, that's better.
great.
I just turned
Excellent.
myself up.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
The sound guy.
Good for him.
I feel like a midget.
Did you?
Yeah, I feel
We
like a
could
midget.
adjust it to go like this.
Yeah.
That's a bit better, Pen, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Let's have it like that from now on.
Okay.
She's right. It's
So I'm not going to be in the video, or what?
Well, I'll turn it to you when you're talking.
When you, yeah,
Like,
when you
sit near the
spin
door
about.
here.
I want to show my pants, so my
Oh, you can
so
stand
cute.
up. That's fine.
I'm only being a
That's all right.
smart ass.
Okay.
How do you get like? Do you have to like talk close into this?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Especially with a female, because we're soft spoken. Yeah, you need to be about no more than an inch away from the mic at all
Oh, right
times.
here. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
But all guests should be that way, really. Okay, we'll be on air in exactly a minute.
Okay. I hope I don't laugh. Yeah.
Hey, you cats and kitty cats out there. This is the great and powerful Nik Beat, and this is another hour of Howl Radio coming at you from the University of Toronto, downtown, campus grounds, out of Hart House, third floor. And it is July 23rd, middle of the summer in Toronto. And we're going to have a fantastically eclectic show tonight. We have Kevin Kane from Grapes of Wrath here is going to be playing a tune for you also and talking to me about his gig coming up. We're also going to be talking to film director Joseph Procopio, former TV talk show host Stephen Eyes. And after Stephen, we're going to be talking to car poet, car driver, and she brought her car with you. That's Tracy Lynn Challenger. We'll be talking to her in a very few minutes. This is Nik Beat. We'll be back in a minute with our first guest, Stephen Eyes. Boy, I'm wonderful.
Is Stephen
Where's
pre-recorded?
Steven?
I can't hear you. What?
Is Stephen pre-recorded?
No. He's on the phone actually waiting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, you cats and kitty cats, we are back, and this is Nik Beat, the Great and Powerful, and we are Howl Radio, named after the controversial poem by Allen Ginsberg that was previewed at the Sixth Gallery in 1955. But here we are in 2013, and like I said, we've got a lot of guests tonight, so we're going to get right to it. Do we have Stephen Eyes on the telephone? Steve Areno, how are you? I'm doing really great. Steve, you had a fantastic TV talk show. What happened with it?
Steve, you had a fantastic TV talk show. What happened with it?
Well, I think we were a little bit ahead of the curve with things. We were actually streaming mainly live on the internet, and we were pitching the television around the same time that people decided they didn't want to watch television anymore. They wanted to see television on the internet or on demand or any other multimedia, but the fixed boob tube. So we kind of took a break for a bit, and enough people sort of started asking again to have something like that out there. So I brought it back as just a live version last year, and we had a sort of sold out standing room only crowd. So now we're back at it, and we're taping them, and we'll make them available on the
Sounds
internet,
good to me,
and
Steve.
people don't have to
Sounds
have
good to
cable be
me.
able to check it out, which
Now,
makes it
we're talking to
better.
Stephen Eyes, by the way. Stephen
Sounds
had a
good to me,
fantastic
Steve.
talk
Sounds
show
good to me.
that I was
Now, we're talking to
present
Stephen
at for
Eyes,
a
by
number
the way.
of them.
Stephen had
It was
a
all filmed
fantastic
at
talk
the
show
Gladstone
that I
Hotel
was
in the back
present at
area.
for a
It
number
was
of
a
them.
fantastic
It
show.
was all
But
filmed
Steve,
at
what have you
the,
got coming up
Gladstone
that you want to
Hotel.
let people know about?
The back
That's
area. It was a fantastic show. But Steve, what have you got coming up that you want to let people know about? That's
There's a couple things coming up. I'm kind of doing a little bit of a different format this time. We're kind of trying to get into all of the communities individually and then bring them all together in the talk show format. So the one I'm here to pitch mainly today is a comedy show I have going on next Wednesday, July 31st in the Gladstone, and it's in the Melody Bar this time. We want it to be like a dinner theater kind of comedy show vibe. And I pulled up, I guess, like, I've been, in Toronto for 10 years and doing stand-up and been around, and I just kind of picked up the address book and went after, a dozen of my favorite comics that I had seen over that time. And all of the ones who hadn't gone to New York or LA or moved on got back to me. So we have a pretty stellar lineup of guys and girls that are basically the level that, they're on Just for Laughs Canada, and they're headlining shows across Canada. They've done TV specials, and we've got 8 of them. It's 2 hours of comedy coming up, and it's a pay-what-you-can show. So these are guys that you'd be paying $25 to see at a comedy club. They're all capable of doing 40 minutes to hours on
Steve,
a set.
before we
There's
get
usually
on to
up
our
there
next
giving the best 10 to 15 minutes.
personage,
Should
which
be
is
off the hook.
Tracy Challenger on
Steve,
CIUT.
before we
Steve,
get
who
on
are
to
some
our
of the
next,
comics that you loved
personage,
over
which
the
is
years?
Tracy Challenger.
That you'd love to
That's
have?
CIUT's hell.
Yeah.
Steve, who are some of the comics that you loved over the years that you'd
In
love to have?
Toronto,
Yeah.
in Toronto, most of them are actually on this bill, with the exception of Deborah DiGiovanni, who's moved on to LA, and Levi McDougall, who I believe is down in LA, and Ennis Esmer. A few of the guys, a lot of the guys that did these shows back in the day, I'm proud to say, have kind of moved on and are doing this full time. But in Toronto, a lot of them are on this bill. We've got Ryan Belleville, we got Trevor Boris, who you might know from Video on Trial and the Much Music stuff. Fraser Young, fantastic. Pat Thornton's had a number of shows on the Comedy Network. K. Trevor Wilson and Sarah Hennessy are constantly Canadian Comedy Award winners and nominees. And in the Toronto scene, like that, those are really the acts for me. And then I guess outside of Toronto, I like, I think the people that most people like and know of, like Chris Rocks of the world and the Louis C.K.'s. But what really gets me going is finding the people and seeing that raw talent and kind of.
Stephen,
knowing
did you
15
pick all
years from now,
the people that are
these
part of
guys
this
are
night?
going to be the ones that
Or
are reaching that level.
Okay. Stephen, did you pick all the people that are part of this night? Or
Yeah,
was-
I think so. They were my kind of go-to choices, and I was surprised and humbled and amazed at how quickly they kind of got back, especially because it's a pay-what-you-can event. I don't want anyone not coming to check out comedy because they can't afford it, and I know there's a lot of comedy nights out there that aren't the greatest, and they're open mics or they're amateur nights, and people come out and they get the wrong idea, but Toronto has a rich history of developing and producing some of the best talent in this country, and them going on to the States and being some of the best talent there. So yeah, I've certainly handpicked a staff.
You know what I love
cast
about
that
you,
I know
Stephen?
from front to back
I don't
really
have.
awesome, and
You
we'll
don't.
hopefully have people leaving
I don't
there
have to worry
starting to
about you
check out other
being all
comedy
of a
shows.
sudden giving
You know
me
what I love about you,
pregnant
Stephen?
pause of silence.
I don't.
I'd love to hear it.
Believe me,
I
that's
don't
the
have to
biggest
worry
fear
about
that a
you
radio
being
person
all of a
has
sudden giving
is
me
someone clamming up.
pregnant
You're-
pause of silence.
No,
Believe me, that's the biggest fear that a
It's
radio
good.
person has, is someone clamming up.
Hey, we actually got to go into like 60 seconds. Can you let people know again, Stephen, where this is and how much it is to get in?
I'll just
And what's the
ramble on
date?
until you tell me to stop.
Hey, we actually got to go into like 60 seconds. Can you let people know again, Stephen, where this is and how much it is to get in? And
Absolutely.
what's the date?
It's going down at the historic Gladstone Hotel in the heart of Parkdale, Queen West, 1214 Queen West. The Gladstone Hotel in the Melody Bar. You can check out the event on Facebook if that's how you're inclined. Like I said, the cover is only it's pay what you can. I mean, a suggested minimum donation of $5, but like I said, these people should be performing. A bill like this should be 20 or 30. I don't care about the money. We also got the Gladstone to put up $5 pints for the night. So whether you're students or whether you live in the area and you're on a budget and you want a sweet night out, it's longer than Transformers 2, and it's intentionally funny. So there's that benefit. So you can check me out on Facebook at Stephen Eyes, or check out Eyes on Comedy, search that out, and or call the Gladstone. It's on our website.
Sounds good, Stephen. Congratulations again, and we'll have Stephen back hopefully in the studio next time for a lot longer period. Steve,
sounds good, Stephen. Congratulations.
Oh,
again. And
you're on, guy.
We'll
Let's
have Stephen
book
back,
it next week
hopefully
for
in the
sure.
studio next time for a lot longer
Okay,
period.
take care, Stephen.
We're going to do another show at the end of September.
You're welcome,
Let's
guy.
come back
Take
and
care.
talk
That's
about
Stephen Eyes.
You're
Stephen
on,
Eyes
guy.
has
Let's
a
book
comedy
it,
night coming
next
up,
week for sure.
and
Okay.
very,
Okay,
thank you,
take care,
Tracy.
Well, that sounded great.
Oh, you're welcome, guys.
It does,
Take
and
care.
now
Stephen Eyes.
We
has,
have sitting
comedy
in
night
the
coming
seat.
up, and,
I saw her on
very,
Facebook.
very,
I saw what
thank you, Tracy.
she had the most unusual look, and what's happening
What
here?
kind of look did I have?
You just had a rocker chick look, but you were a rocker chick with a rocker chick car.
That's right.
And that car was a 1972 Dodge Challenger
Rally edition.
Rally Edition. Now, what does that mean, a Rally Edition?
Well, it's just a certain edition of the Challenger, and it comes with certain options, and it has the straight package on it, and they call it the Rally Edition. And it's a 340, and it's built up, and it is hell on wheels. But I'm hell on wheels, but I'm also a rocker chick. Absolutely. So I'm also hell on heels.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That sounds good. We are talking to, of course, Tracy Lynn Challenger. She is on our Howl show, and she actually souped up, got her car together to make the trip to Toronto. Where do you come from, dear? Where do you live?
The Hammertown.
Hammertown, what does that mean?
Oh, yeah, good old Hamilton, right by the Gladstone, pretty much, and that's where I'm going to go watch what Steve was just talking about. I think it's a great concept.
Okay. A little later in this interview, we're going to be talking to Pete. He's actually written a song called Hell on Wheels. Is that what it's called?
Hell on Wheels.
Sounds good, and we're going to be hearing that track very, very soon. But before we do, it's time for some car poetry by Tracy Lynn Challenger. What do you think, Tracy?
Okay, you know what? I do love to write, Nick, and I threw this poem together pretty much in like 3 to 5 minutes because it just flowed from my heart. People don't realize why I bought my car and what it means to me. Maybe this poem will help. I remember when I bought my car. No intentions to be a rising star. I always pounded it and drove it, just exactly like I stole it, so I could release all my anger, even knowing that I could roll it. I won some plaques, but I didn't really care, but people would wonder and watch and stare. It made me feel uneasy as I watched from afar every time I wanted to pound it and drive away in my car. But what this crowd didn't realize, that I had the need for speed to release the despise. I always drove it hard and I always will. I just face the damage and pay the bill. The adrenaline rush runs down my spine. But in life I never have to complain or whine. I still drive it like I need the fix, but in reality it keeps me from causing fits. Then my friend, Pete here, Pete B, writes an amazing song. He made me realize where I belong. See, I don't want people to despise or even stare. It's such a great thing to hear a song about your car on air. The only reason I bought this big yellow steel is to keep my life exciting, stress-free, and real. But then it became my identity, no doubt, that people just judged me and watched from the crowd. But what these people should have realized is that I just wanted to be me, not treated with neglect. A rising star I never expected to see. All I ever wanted was to simply be me. Maybe that's why they say I'm hell on wheels, and I believe I love this hunk of steel. It's the only thing in my life that treats me real. Baroom. There you go.
Baroom? Okay.
Baroom. Instead of like, I drive it like I stole it. That's my favorite saying.
Sounds good. You're listening to Tracy Lynn Challenger on Howl Radio with Nik Beat. Next week will be my co-host Nancy Bullis's turn in the hot seat with her own brand of howl and spoken word talk and music show. As I said, we do have some music with this show, and we're now going to introduce Pete V to
Yes.
Howl. Pete, welcome to Howl. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Good to be here.
It's great to have you here. And you wrote a song. Now, why did you write this song, Pete?
Well, as an aspiring songwriter, as I like to think of myself, one of the biggest problems I have is finding something to write about, inspiration. And just one day, I've known Tracy for a couple of years, and I know how much she loves her car. And one day, a light bulb just went off above my head, and I started writing a chorus, Hell on Wheels. And I contacted Tracy and asked her for some ideas, some catchphrases, information about her car, specifications, stuff like that. And after that, the song basically just wrote itself.
Awesome. I
Sounds
can't wait
good.
to hear it, Nick. I haven't really heard the real version. I'm
Really?
excited. No, I
You
haven't.
heard the demo version that we heard.
Right. I have not heard the real song. I'm excited.
Well, I'm excited too. Why don't we cut to the chase
Yes.
and get the song on the air? What's the song called again? It's called Hell on Wheels.
That's right.
Hell on Wheels.
Enjoy, and we'll be back with more talk on CIUT's Howl. Enjoy the song.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Nick.
I'll be right back. Excuse me. Sorry, Pen. Excuse me.
Oh, you want to talk? I want to be able to hear the song.
I don't want to rest it all.
No, you gotta put that.
This is awesome song. What a great song. Awesome. I'm going to play this when I drive my car all the time.
Today on air and Pete on air. Pete, on air, please. Thank you. God bless you, my son. We'll be on air in about 20 seconds.
What a great song.
Okay, everyone, this is Nik Beat on Howl 89.5 FM on your dial, also on the worldwide internet at www.ciut.fm. We're also on Rogers Cable, channel 946, and Bell TV Cable, channel 970, and Star Satellite, channel 826. So we are covered all over the planet. Welcome back to Howl. That is Pete V's song, Hell on Wheels. Pete, congratulations. I really love that sound. It sounds a lot like the Grateful Dead to me.
Really? Is that?
Oh, totally.
I haven't. That's one comparison I haven't heard yet.
Oh, what have you heard?
A lot of people tell me that I sound like Tom Petty to some degree.
Okay.
I don't exactly hear that either, but I take it as a compliment for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's great. What do you think, Tracy?
You know, I'm actually very honored, Pete, that you actually wrote that song about me in my car. And I couldn't be more proud to hear it on air. And I've done a lot of things in life. I do acting, I do other things, but this is probably the best day of my life. And I can't thank you enough. And every time I drive that car, I'm going to listen to that song because I'm going to be hell on wheels for the rest of my life.
Well, it's my pleasure, Tracy.
Thank you so much.
What's the attraction of cars for you? What is it?
It's the speed. Oh my God. When you're going so fast. And even when you lose a car and you know you're going to like crash into a window or whatever, you don't care. It's the rush.
Okay.
It's the adrenaline rush.
It's generally a man's world within that auto sort of
Yes,
format.
it is. Absolutely.
You're not intimidated by that at all.
Well, no, actually, I intimidate them. I get them angry because I know a lot about my car, and I'll talk about piston sizes and, you
That's
know,
good.
cams and lifts and durations, and they're like, what? And I'll say, well, what's your cam lift, huh? And I'll say, well, mine's a 521 with a 284 duration. So sometimes they get angry at me. Girls do not like me at all because they think I'm talking to their boyfriends for other reasons, but I just want to know about the motor. That's it. And the car.
Now, you told me once that you don't have necessarily music running while you're running your car. You're in car. You're actually grooving on the sound of the car itself.
I groove to the cam, and I shift to the sound of the motor. I don't even have a tack in my car. Everyone has a tack in their car. I've never wanted a tack, and I never will because I shift by ear. And that motor is my music, but now I have more music called Hell on Wheels.
All right. And Hell on Wheels is on CIUT's Howl with Nik Beat, 89.5 FM. 10:30, we're going to be talking to film director Joseph Procopio. This man is man? He's not a man.
Huh?
He's 18 years old. He's a wunderkind. He just had a huge profile done in Maclean's magazine. He's got a debut short film called Sunday, which is at the Carlton at 1 p.m. I'm invited there, and you're all invited to come out and celebrate. He's going to be working on a feature film very, very, very soon. So I'm really pleased for Joseph Procopio talking to him around 10:30. But right now, we're talking to Tracy Lynn Challenger. Tracy, do you have another poem for us?
No, I don't have another poem. I could probably make one up real quick if you wanted me to.
Please.
Now you got me stumped, see, because you just threw it at me there. I love my car. And every time I watch it from afar, I watch it and see that this is really me. I love to dance, but I love speed. The rush is great. It helps me through life, and it just basically, I don't want the stares. I don't want the looks. I just want to like drive it like I stole it and just book it.
So do men play second to you into this car? I mean, not to you, to the car.
Put it this way. I've tried to date a few guys, and they told me I couldn't drive my car, so I told them metal wins. Goodbye. That's how much I love my car.
Okay. Right on. This is Nik Beat, and we're talking to Tracy Lynn Challenger. Now, Challenger is a challenging name. Is
Absolutely.
that your real name?
No, it's my nickname for many, many, many years.
Okay.
And plus I am a challenge. And there is one person I would like to also thank is my mechanic. If it wasn't for him working all weekend on my car to get it running, because I've had a lot of problems with the transmission and other issues, I wouldn't be here today with my car. So I would like to say thank you so much, Tim. You are amazing, amazing, and I can't thank you enough for what you did for me to get me here today.
This is Nik Beat, and you're listening to Howl Radio. In the second half of the show, we're going to be talking to film director Wunderkind, Joseph Procopio, and then we're going to be talking to Kevin Kane, who's actually doesn't live too far from here. Has come in with his guitar, some great Wrath albums, and his own album. We're going to be playing some tracks from those and hearing him live in the studio. A lot of people have been buzzing like crazy, not just for Tracy's appearance on the show, but for Kevin's. There's a huge audience out there that is a lot bigger than we even would normally get. So really pleased with all the interest in the show. Tracy, what's next for the 1972 Dodge Challenger? Are you going to race it? Are you just going to ride it? What are you going to do?
I'm going to drive it like I stole it. And every time I break it, I'm going to fix it. And I'm just going to keep on going with that adrenaline rush because it keeps my anger under control and I never get mad and it makes me love life. And it makes me really happy.
I think a lot of people out there are getting turned on by all the things you're saying and the way you're saying it.
I always say...
Would you like to stand up and show the world who Tracy Lynn Challenger is?
I always say I have a Mopargasm. I'm a Mopar girl or a cargasm. This is me in my striped racing pants.
Cool.
I always say cool with a K.
Okay, for those who are wondering what's going on, this is a radio show. We also now videotape our shows, and they will be posted to YouTube as per usual a little later in the week. My videographer, Penn Smith, is here. She's been hired to videotape most of our Howl shows from now on, and she so far has been doing a wonderful job. So thanks, Penn Smith. Hey, this is Howl, of course, and I'm Nik Beat. Hope you're enjoying our show. We've got about 4 minutes before our interview and ad with Joseph Procopio. What is it that women are intimidated by? I still don't get what. Okay, other than the fact that you're sexy and all that stuff.
Okay, well,
do you want women friends?
Absolutely, I would love to have them, but they despise me. It's kind of a sad society.
What? I'm sure there's some women out there that are friends.
Yeah, if they have a car, or if they're like me and they love to rock and roll and dance, right? Other than that, but I've learned to live with it. I'm a bit of a tomboy anyways. I love guy things. I love speed. I love Harleys. I love anything with a motor. Give me a dune buggy. I would love to have girlfriends. A lot of them, they don't trust me, and it's really unfair. It's not fair to me or them. But society is society. I don't blame anyone. I'm quite happy to be me, and I will never change for anyone because it's the rush that keeps me alive.
Okay. This is Nik Beat. You're listening to Tracy Lynn Challenger. Before this, we were talking to former TV talk show host Stephen Eyes, and now Stephen's got a big comedy show coming up very soon. And later, we're going to talk to Joseph Procopio in a few minutes about his new short film at the Carlton. It's called Sunday. He's also going to be working on a feature film. After this, he has won over 37 major awards throughout the planet. Awesome. This kid is unbelievable. He's like 18 and going strong. And as I said, he'll be talking a little bit about his new feature film that he's going to be working on after this premiere of Sunday at the Carlton Sunday at 1 p.m. And please come to this. It's going to be an amazing afternoon with Joseph will be there, as well as his publicist, Glenda Fordham, who also does publicity for me sometimes. Thank you, Glenda, very, very much for providing Joseph on the show. Tracy, if you had anything to say to your fans, which you have a lot of, what would you say to them right at this very moment?
I love you all, and thank you so much for even listening and watching. And you all know you're all a great part of my life. All you musicians, all you car people, you're just great people, and I love to be around everyone. And without you guys, I wouldn't be who I am today. Thank you.
This is Nik Beat, who's had a conversation with Tracy Lynn Challenger. Tracy, thank you so much for being on Howl.
You know what, Nick? Thank you. It's my honor, and thank you again, Pete V, for
Definitely,
making
for a
me.
groovy tune.
Yeah, he made my life.
Yeah, like I said, Tracy, it was my pleasure. And if I can just get in a shameless plug here for my website. If you liked what you heard, the song that we just played, you can download it for 99 cents from reverbnation.com/PeteV.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds good, Pete. And that was Pete V on Howl Radio with Nik Beat on 89.5 FM on your dial. We're also on the internet at www.ciut.fm. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. In about 60 seconds, I'm going to be quiet. We're going to play an ad, then be back with film director Joseph Procopio on CIUT's Howl. I do want to say, though, a little plug for moi, which is I have an art show. My art is at the Catalyst Gallery. It's pop collage portraits of fallen rock and pop personalities. The Catalyst is a new gallery, 666 Queen Street West. Check it out, Wednesday through Saturday, noon to 7 p.m. My work will be there along with another bunch of fabulous artists. Brian Liss is the owner. Brian represents Ron Wood of the Rolling Stones. Ringo, David Bowie, Grace Slick, at his gallery in Yorkville, 140 Yorkville. Check out the Liss Art Gallery. And Brian is an old friend, and I'm very pleased to be part of a roster of acts. Anyway, we're going to break for an ad, and then we'll be back with the interview, hopefully with Joseph Procopio on CIUT's Howl with Nik Beat.
Awesome.
Thank you, lady. Thank you. It was very good. Very good. Thanks, Ben.
A lot of fun.
Did we do okay?
My first
Or did I
ever radio
cry?
interview.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see it on video hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope so, yeah.
I was
Hey, this is Nik Beat, and we are back on Howl Radio. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. I want to thank again the talented Tracy Lynn Challenger and also Pete V, who came in here in the studio. Now, hopefully, we have the Wunderkind of the planet, which is Joseph Procopio. Joseph, how are you? Oh, you got to be kidding. You're the one making this show a fantastic show along with our other guests. I'm just very pleased to have you back, Joseph. Joseph, you've got a short film debut of, I believe it's called Sunday at the Carlton. You've got a debut of your film Sunday at the Carlton Cinema.
Hey, Nick, how are you? It's a pleasure to be on the show again. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, you got to be kidding!
Now,
You're the one
you
making
promised
this
me a part
show,
someday.
a fantastic show along with our other guests.
It's coming. I just got to wait a few more years.
Joseph, you've got a short
I hear you.
debut
I'm teasing.
I believe it's called
totally
Sunday.
teasing.
At
Yes.
the Carlton.
Anyway, Joseph, I'm so happy for you. Now, after this,
you've got a
are
debut
you
of
not
your
going on
film
to a
Sunday
feature
at the
film?
Carlton Cinema?
Yes, it's happening on July 28th at around noon. And I'm debuting my film entitled Sunday, starring Tiago Abreu and Kendra Timmons.
Now, you promised me a part someday.
Yes, I did.
Well,
Your part's coming, I promise.
It's coming, eh? I just got to wait a few more years.
Yes, script is being drafted.
I hear you. I'm teasing him. I'm totally teasing him. Anyway, Joseph, I'm so happy for you. Now, after this, are you not going on to a feature film?
Yes, I currently have 3 projects in development. I have another short that's currently being written for another Bravo
Joseph, you're now the ripe old age
December.
of, I believe, 18,
but I have
right
2
now?
feature films that are being written simultaneously. One is intended to be a studio picture. Kind of like a Batman
now, are
kind
you aren't
atmospheric
big-headed yet
type,
about all the success
a protagonist against the world type story. And one's a smaller drama called Land, which intends to make a debut with its first draft in early October.
Okay, this is Nik Beat. We're talking to film director Joseph Procopio. Joseph, you're now the ripe old age of, I believe, 18, are you not?
19. I turned 19 at July 3rd.
How much is it to get in to see your
not too
film?
long
Happy
off.
birthday to you.
Thank you very, very, very much, Nick.
Wow. Now, are you aren't big-headed yet about all the success that you've had. You amaze me that way. You're a very level-headed person, I guess is the cliche.
Oh, thank you, Nick. I don't look at success in that type of
Really?
view. I
Wow.
enjoy having my work viewed
Oh,
and
that's
recognized,
fantastic.
but not
So it's
where I
free to
take
the public.
that success and fuel into my own kind of meaning. It's not important to me.
Okay. How much is it to get in to see your film on this Sunday on the 28th?
Actually, the debut of Sunday is actually a free ticket, but we
Thank you
obviously
very
would like
much.
people to
I'm
go
a
and buy a
minor
nice snack and watch the
celebrity,
film.
so
But
I fit in.
we've actually covered the cost of the Carlton for people to come and view the project for its
Really?
debut.
Wow.
Yes, I have.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
really
free to
great.
the public.
It is currently free to the public, but of course, there
This is
are
Nik Beat
only
on
limited
CIT's How We're
number
Talking
of
to you. If
seats,
you just joined
considering
us,
that we have cast
film
and crew
director
coming,
Joseph Procopio
including the
about
celebrities
his
of the actual
short film
production,
Sunday.
including
How
industry
long
guests
is the
that
film?
are on the list. I think
Joseph?
and you are on the list. I know that
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure, Nick.
Thank you very much. I'm a minor
Okay.
celebrity.
Yeah,
so-
Why
I
the move
believe
to
my
feature
publicist,
films?
Glenda Fordham from Fordham PR, has the number of open seats for public, and I know that she'll have that number if people come in and try to enter the screening at the Carlton on Sunday.
Okay. This is Nik Beat on CIT's How. We're talking to, if you've just joined us, film director Joseph Procopio about his short film Sunday. How long is the film?
The current runtime of Sunday is 13:27. That's including credits.
Okay. Why the move to feature
This is
films?
Nik Beat. We're talking to Joseph Procopio. If you just joined us,
I find
this
it
is Howl
difficult
Radio.
now,
It's a talk show. It's a
having
music show.
done
It's
12
spoken
short
word and
films.
poetry
I
all
find it hard
together.
for me
I
to
hope you
contain
enjoy
my stories
the
onto
hour.
like
When we opened the show,
13
we talked to
pages.
former talk
I want to
show
be able to establish
host
my
Stephen
characters, develop them
Eyes,
over 90
and
to 120
then we were talking to
pages
Tracy Lynn
on a
Challenger,
wider
Pete V,
scope rather than keeping the
and
film
very,
small.
very soon, in a couple of minutes,
I want to
we'll be
kind of
talking
blow
to
out and make
from
longer
the Grapes of
forms that
Wrath,
our
Kevin
studios
Kane.
can
He's
get
got
on
a
board
gig
with and
coming
put
up
them into theaters.
that we
And
will
people
talk
can actually go
about.
and have a night of
And
entertainment
I'm just
instead of like
glad
10
that
minutes
we've
of
had so
entertainment.
much publicity about this
This is
particular
Nik Beat. We're
show.
talking
It's
to
just
Joseph
been
Procopio. If you
unbelievable.
just joined us, this is Howl Radio.
I'm very, very
It's
pleased
a
with
talk
it.
show. It's a
Joseph,
music show.
if
It's spoken word and poetry all
if
together. I hope you're
films
enjoying
are going in a
the
certain
hour.
direction,
When we opened
there's
the
a
show,
lot of
we
worry
talked to
about it
former
right
talk
now,
show
which is
host
yeah,
Stephen
that
Eyes,
films are becoming
and
either
then we were talking to Tracy
game-based
Lynn Challenger and
or
Pete V.
cartoonish
And very, very
cartoons,
soon, in a
comic
couple of minutes,
strips.
we'll be talking
Where's the
to
real
from the
life
Grapes of Wrath,
characters?
Kevin Kane.
How do
He's
you
got
feel
a gig
about it?
coming up that we will talk about. And I'm just glad that we've had so much publicity about this particular show. It's just been unbelievable. I'm very, very pleased with it. Joseph, if films are going in a certain direction, there's a lot of worry about it right now.
Yes, I've heard.
Yeah, that films are becoming either game-based or cartoonish, cartoons, comic strips. Where's the real life characters? How do you feel about it?
Well, I currently, I've been following what, Steven Spielberg and a lot of other big directors have been talking about. It. They call it the fall of the film industry. But what I think it's turned into is, look at a series example like Batman. People love the franchise because the characters were so richly drawn. I just find that when the numbers and digits of the budget increase, they spend less and less money into script development and making sure the characters are well established. I think that personally, there isn't a loss in character. I think it's just the lack of time spent in script development.
Okay, we're having a discussion with Joseph Procopio, who is
causing
19-year-old
suspicion that the
fantastically
film industry is going in the
awarded
wrong direction.
filmmaker, and his
So-
film
Well,
that's open to the public
I
to
always
see,
find
those
that
limited seats,
the bigger the
is
scope,
it
obviously,
starting
the
at noon,
more
Joseph,
inspired
or should you
the
come
audience can
by
see the
noon
character
to
develop,
see it?
through battles and through maybe parents, buildings blowing up, and the parents happen to be in there. As long as it's attention to story and detail, then all that fluff, they call it, can really be justified in the story.
Okay.
Okay, we're having a discussion with Joseph Procopio, who is
it's interesting talking to you about the film industry, because I remember the conversation, not that I had, but with John Malkovich was saying he doesn't
open
owe
to the public
anything
to see, although it's
to
limited
Brando.
seats. Is
The
it
kind of
is it
acting that's
starting at
required
noon, Joseph,
in
or
most
should
of the
you
films
come
he said that he
by
does.
noon?
Well, it
nothing
intends
to do with method
begin
acting,
at
nothing to
noon,
do
so
with
I often
naturalistic
advise people who receive
acting.
invitations
It's
to
more
arrive about
heightened
10 minutes, 15 minutes
kind
early.
of acting.
I was
It's
obviously
interesting to talk
rush
about
them
how
to get
the
their
industry is
seats.
going. But you're
by the
obviously
time
not
the
worried about the
movie
trend.
rolls at noon.
Okay.
So it'd be nice if people arrived a little earlier.
Okay.
It's interesting talking to you about the film industry, because I remember the conversation, not that I had, but with John Malkovich was saying he doesn't owe anything to Brando. The kind of acting that's required in most of the films he said that he does has nothing to do with method acting, nothing to do with naturalistic acting. It's more heightened kind of acting. It's interesting to talk about how the industry is going. But you're obviously not worried about the trend.
No, I've never been worried about the trend. The only problem I ever had with the film industry.
Joseph, congratulations
like
again.
the
By the
60s,
way,
70s, and
that article in
even
Plains magazine is
before
fantastic.
that was the fact that they were making so many films a year. Now it's a very limited number of films
It was very well written, and we will be seeing Joseph at his
budgets, $200
debut
million
of
budgets,
Sunday,
and studios can't afford to launch out 20 of those. They can only launch 3 of those.
I'll see you
There's a
there,
very
Joseph.
limited
Thanks for being on
amount of
Howl.
number of seats that you can have a director sit in there and work with great performers, or
Me too.
be
Take
in
care,
there
guy.
and work with a great director of photography
Talk to
and
you
stuff
soon.
like that. That's the only problem with the
Thank
industry
you.
currently. But
This
I
is
don't
Nik Beat,
foresee a
and
problem
this is
at all.
Howl Radio, and now
Joseph,
we're in the studio.
congratulations again. By
Is
the way,
someone
that
who's part
article
of a
in
group
Plains
that
magazine
I
is
loved. I
fantastic.
actually
Congratulations on that,
played
too.
Grapes of
Oh,
Wrath
thank you
a
very,
long
very, very
time
much,
ago at
Nick.
CSCR
I'm
out
glad
at
you enjoyed
University
reading
of
it.
Toronto.
I did.
And they had
It was
actually
very
played
well
some
written,
gigs out
and we
there
will
back,
be seeing
I don't know,
Joseph
it was
at his
late
the
80s,
debut
early
of
90s.
Sunday,
Kevin,
a
welcome to. You
13-minute
got to
short
actually
film
jump
at
right
the
in there.
Carlton.
Yeah, these
I'll
mics
see you
are a
there,
little,
Joseph. Thanks for
they're
being
a little
on.
shy.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. It's Kevin Kane of Grapes of Wrath.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Grapes of Wrath, is Grapes of Wrath still playing? They're still going.
Yes. We have a new record out.
And when's that coming out?
Last March.
Oh, it came out last month.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was that like? What was the reception?
Oh, it set the world on fire.
It did? Okay.
No, it's doing actually pretty good. CBC's actually been really behind it. That's been great. And, shows are getting better and better, and no, we're pretty pleased with how things are going.
Now, you also have, obviously, you're a solo project.
Yeah, I play
yourself.
solo as well.
Okay. Now, I'm just wondering, did that upset your bandmates to do a solo album or have a separate career?
Well,
No.
we disbanded for 18 years, so I had to do something.
Oh.
So yeah, I made a few records in the interim, and so did they.
Okay. This is Nik Beat. We're talking to Kevin Kane of Grapes of Wrath. Now, I'm going to let you know where Kevin's going to be before we actually hear Kevin play a song live. Then we're going to play a track from Grapes of Wrath, and then hopefully near the end we'll be playing a track from Kevin's solo album. Anyway, Kevin will be playing with special guest Patrick Brealey. The concert with Libations and Snacks by Krista Oben. Where? Mrs. Huzenga at 28 Roncesvalles Avenue in Toronto. When? Wednesday, July 24th, which is obviously tomorrow night. Doors at 7 p.m. Show at 8. Tickets suggested PWYC are $10. So you will be performing now. Who is Patrick Brealey?
He's he plays with Graves as well. He plays keyboards with us when we do shows out east, but he's a songwriter, really good songwriter. So I've known him for a number of years. He's actually from out west as well.
Okay. Can I ask you one thing before you play, live in our show? And thank you so much for being here.
Sure.
Which is, why did you guys break up for so long? Why 18 years? It's a long time.
Well, we didn't plan on breaking up for 18 years. I think the intent was for it to be forever. But forever didn't work out. So we're back.
Okay. Taking a little libation myself. A little Diet Coke commercial. There you go, folks. I'm completely addicted to Diet Coke. It's just one of the few vices I have. Anyway, we're very lucky to have Kevin come in here and also share some of his music. Kevin, what are you going to play for us?
Shall we do an oldie? Since you're going to play something off the new record. Okay. But do we need the microphone for the guitar if I need to be so close?
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I can't hear it. Can you hear the guitar? I'll just go back a bit. How about will this help? I'll probably screw up doing this. Okay. Here's an oldie. Hours of hiding spent in the vault. The wall is all we share. About the closest you could get. Not all I will bear. Tell me all the things I wasn't would have made this bigger deal. listening, taking in, one way take away all the guilt and pity I could barely keep at bay. Tell me all the things I wasn't would have made this big a difference to all the things you are. Time before I realized names are most we share. Unlike you, there's no way I could spend forever there. You tell me all the things I wasn't would have made this big a difference to all the things you are.
Wow, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful song. Was that the first hit that you guys had?
No. Well, we had other hits. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the middle hit.
That was the middle hit. Okay, this is Kevin Kane you're listening to on CIUT 89.5 FM. And also on the worldwide internet at www.ciut. You can get us on there. Just go to Listen Live link, and you can hear us all over the planet. We've got fans all over the world, and hope you're enjoying the show so far. And we're talking to Kevin Kane, who's our final guest for Howl. I was thinking, but before we do get into the next track, which is Off the Grapes of Wrath, what I'm seeing, and a lot of other people are seeing these days, is a move back to roots music. Jake Bugg and all these kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
So is your timing looks pretty good, actually.
Yes, it was all calculated. And
It was all calculated.
We had a think tank who advised us the exact moment to drop you.
So this is a tremendous coincidence, in other words.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know what it is. I guess I don't spend a lot of time thinking about these things, but I mean the reception's been good, and I think in any time there's people doing electronic music, there's people doing this, there's people doing that. It's whatever the media might grab onto.
Yeah.
Whatever pig happens to be coming out of the chute at the time.
Okay. This is Nik Beat talking to Kevin Kane of Grapes of Wrath. Hope you're enjoying the show. We're actually going to play a track now. I think it's track 2. That's what Kevin was requesting. And what's the name of this track?
It's called Isn't There.
Okay, Isn't There by Grapes of Wrath. We'll be back with more Howl, Kevin Kane on CNT. That's beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful song. Did you write that song, Kev?
That's why I played it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Did I introduce you to my videographer?
Oh, hi.
This is Penelope. This is Kevin Kane, of course. How old is this track? Is this fairly a recent
Brand
one?
new, yeah.
This is
So
the recent one.
It's the last single. The last single that came out.
It's the last single?
Yeah. We have one that just came out.
Excuse me. Oh, sorry, Kat. But I'm going to get him to do one more live. This is a great track too. Jesus Christ. It's great to hear this music again though. I mean, it really is. But apparently roots music, or whatever you want to call it, folk rock, whatever name you want to give it, is coming back big.
Yeah, well, it's real music, I guess, basically. Bands that can play live and stuff.
Yeah. Because I was at a concert at City Hall, and everybody that went up except Paris Black is a friend of mine. It's all used backing tracks. It's like, does anybody have bands that play live anymore? Except Paris?
We just played a festival on the weekend, and several of the performers were using backing tracks. And I mean, it's funny that the night we were on, we sounded pretty thrashy and raw compared to these bands that had their background vocals and stuff. It's like, this is at a folk festival.
Wow.
People were playing to computers.
Wow. It blows my mind. You see, Glenda's really plugging the show big time for the Twitter thing for everybody. Okay, we're back. My name is Nik Beat. I'm the host of Howl. Next week will be my co-host, Nancy Bullis' Tune in the Hot Seat. Remember that after Howl is finished, we have Sex City, so stay tuned for that. We are talking to Kevin Kane of the Grapes of Wrath, who's also a solo artist. Kevin, is there something you'd like to play? Another one?
Sure. I'll do. This is actually an unrecorded song. And it's about my move to Toronto. I moved out here just about 3 years ago. I moved out for a gal, and we're now married. So
okay, good for you.
So this is the story of that. It's basically about the weeks leading up to the move.
I'll be writing you as I want to do, with my pen from Germany, on a poster bag for a gig you didn't see. On this day forgot I will put the perfect song. Read between the lines. I don't think you would be far wrong. Home is where the heart is. I found it mailed off to you. To be punched by your pocket till it shone right through. An aluminium pot, I guess you could have gone for yourself most anywhere. In the neighborhood west of Bathurst off St. Clair. But send it anyways. I've been married days just because I realize Sometimes it's nice to get got that address memorized. Home is where the heart is. I found it mailed off to you to be polished by your pocket till it shone like new. Till it shone like new.
That is Kevin Kane. That's a beautiful song. Very flattered that you're sharing it with us. What's the song called again,
It's
Kevin?
called Sean, but not as in the name Sean, as in the past tense of the word shine. My wife's actually studying linguistics here at UT, and I'm really interested in words, and I was just thinking about how words get pronounced differently. I've got that iPhone app, so you can hear how you're supposed to pronounce words in different countries. And Americans say shone, like the sun shone brightly on my old Kentucky home.
That's right.
But Canadians and those in the Commonwealth say Sean.
Kevin Kane, is that an Irish name?
It is indeed, yes.
Ah, a fellow Irishman. There you go, Pen. The Beatles were Irish. I actually put on, I know you're laughing. It's true. There's footage of the Beatles in Ireland going, we're all Irish. That's what they said. A lot of people don't know that, but there you go. I'm sorry to break it to you, folks. The Beatles were Irish, except Ringo, apparently. But anyway, we're here with Kevin Kane. We were talking during the break about that you had done a folk festival and people were actually using backing tracks. It seems incredible.
Yeah, not naming names, but
not naming names.
No, some of the acts were using backing tracks. I mean, there again, a folk festival. Obviously, we're not really a folk band; we're a rock band with harmonies. But yeah, it's pretty common, I think, for people to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's.
Oh, come on, there's lots wrong with it.
Well, I mean, it depends on the music. It depends on what you're going for, right?
True.
I think that is actually one of the interesting things about how music has changed is there's so many ways you can do it. It's just like your last guest was talking about film. I think the same thing is happening to the film industry that happened to the music industry, where you can complain, especially if you used to work for a record company, that I don't have the job anymore, or I don't get this massive expense account and all of that stuff. But on the other side of it, you used to have to go into an expensive studio to make a record. Now you can record music on your phone or whatever. The technology is literally in the hands of everyone. So it's actually easier to make music, just like it's easier to make films. You can make films again on an iPhone. You don't have to use or whatever.
Yeah.
Is this a film?
Yes, it is. Yes.
It is. It's going to be on YouTube. This is going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, it becomes you don't need the studio system or the theaters or whatever, or the major labels, any of that stuff to get your stuff out there.
This is Nik Beat. We're talking to Kevin Kane of Grace of Wrath. Hope you're enjoying the show. We've got 2 minutes left. I just want to say thank you to all my guests, to Stephen Eyes. Good to talk to Steve Marino again. Good to have Tracy Lynn Challenger come in here with her Challenger, and also to Pete V. Excellent song. And to Kevin Kane, thanks very much, Kevin. We've got to let people know one more time. Thanks again to Miranda for setting this up. Miranda's actually got a gig on, is it the same night, Kevin, basically, or is it a different place?
Well, no, she'll be there. I would think she set it up. So.
Yeah. She's a special guest with Patrick O'Callaghan. Go. At the Atlantic at 1597 Dundas Street West. Oh, this already happened. Sorry.
Yeah, that's happened.
Sorry about that, Miranda. But Kevin is playing tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's a really neat setup. It's an antique store. I played there before, and so you're sitting on all the antique couches and chairs and whatnot. Wine and food. So.
What time does it start?
Doors are at 7, and Patrick plays at 8, and I guess I'll be Well, I'll be after Patrick. I'm pretty sure I'll be after Patrick.
Okay. Want to thank again Eureka Global Art Entertainment for having me do a couple of announcements to Paris Black's band. I also met somebody who was amazing. He blew me off. She was amazing on stage, which was Helen Carlson. And hopefully we'll have Helen in here. Thanks so much for listening. We're going to do a tiny bit of a track from the solo album by Kevin. Thank you for listening. Upcoming at 11 o'clock is Sex City on CIUT. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So where do you live? You said you're close by.
At college in Spadina.
Oh, really? Wow. You just had to walk over.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. So your wife, was it U at T, or she's doing stuff through U of T?
No, she's studying here. Yeah. So,
she's studying here. Okay.
Yeah, she's going to school full time, so that's why I live in the area.
Okay. What's she studying?
Linguistics and
you already
sociology, and right now she's in the philosophy course in summer school. So.
Wow, that's complex. That's not the most easy.
No
is she a linguist?
Well, that's what she's going for. She did 15 years of teaching music. She had a music school, and she wanted life change. So.
Oh wow, wow. How did you guys meet?
At a house concert I did.
You met at a what?
I was playing a house concert.
Oh, wow. Was she a fan, or did she know your music?
She knew Grapes, yeah, but she was there, and we didn't actually meet. We saw each other and kept staring at each other, and then got to know each other over the internet. Got to know each other.
Amazing what a stare starts.
Yeah, exactly.
May I have a picture with you, my
Sure.
friend? And then I'm going to pack my bags.
Okay.
And can you take the picture? It's just press it here. With Kevin, and then I'll do one with Tracy. Did it take?
I don't know what it says. What do you press here?
The middle black button. Just a second. Oh, I don't know what you did. I think you just launched a nuclear missile. I think that was blurry. One more time. You do push this here.
Okay.
I know it's not the greatest. Okay, that sounded like a great thing. Thank you very much.
Can I get a picture too, Kevin?
Yeah, let me get out of the way.
Want to take a picture there, Tracy?
I'll do one more. Now my turn.
Thanks, y'all have Blackberries.
Yeah. Now you
Well, she has iPhone.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Kevin, by the way. Awesome.
Okay. Okay, take one more. All right.
All right.
Picture with
Yeah,
me
good to
and-
hear
me and Nick
all the
here.
things yours.
Yeah,
That's the name of the
yeah,
song?
Are you
Okay.
gonna take a picture by my car?
Yeah, I
or
bought
no?
that cassette when it came
I
out.
brought it here.
There was
Does that have a flash
I
on
bought
it?
it based on
Yeah,
a
it
review
does.
that I read
Can
in
you just take a picture of me, Nick?
one of the London music papers, like London, Ontario.
Okay.
Oh, you're seeing in
And it was a rave review, so I went and bought the cassette.
That's the kind of reviews I like.
Oh, yeah.
Can't hold my stomach in any longer.
Might as well get one. I'm gonna get one with.
That's usually what a girl says.
That's right.
That's a good one. I'm gonna take one.
My
Suck
stomach.
in.
Yeah, it's like-
Thanks. I got a scoot. I gotta be up at 6 in the morning.
Thanks, Kev.
Okay.